Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Agent Mastermind Strategy class for today. I am here with Mr. Scott Hudspeth. How you doing today, Mr. Hudspeth?
I'm doing wonderful, as always, man, and I appreciate you being here with me, brother. I heard you had a great time in Vegas last week, so...
Brother, I'll tell you, just the energy that of the people that I got to hang out with for 3 days and just listen to what they're doing in their business, just the energy that I got from that and just being around people that that are like-minded, that have the same ideas that I do, and it's just a wonderful experience to be able to be around a group of people like that.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So my question to you and everybody on the call is, no, not do you have a PC. Yes, I have a plan in place. If you look at the screen really quick, am I not, whoops. Oh, hold on. Yes, there we go, launch. If I do the right thing. Can everybody see that? Paul, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so do you have a plan in place for 2013? But more importantly, do you have a plan in place that, okay, at the end of 2013, here's what my here's what my life is going to look like, here's what my business is going to look like, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. So 71% said no, so we got a good crowd here, man. So hopefully I can give you some sort of guidance, clarity, vision, plan to help you build this. So let's just close this out, and there we go. There's the share button. So we got 31% said yes, 69 said no. So we're leaning towards the side that wants a little help with this. So I appreciate you guys showing up today. So let's just get started with this, Paul. So what I'm going to do is hopefully bring some clarity to your real estate business, okay? We're going to help you to come up with some goals. Everybody's going to be a little bit different, but we're going to help
Scotty,
you.
you're going to need to show your screen again.
Hate that when that happens. I don't know why I can't share my screen.
Did you close the poll?
Hide. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yay! Thanks, Paul.
No problem.
All right. So we got clarity. I'm going to help you get some goals. I'm going to help you put a plan in place. I'm going to show you how we do it here at the Marketing Animals. I'm going to show you why you should work with a partner on this, preferably the loan officer partner, and why you should work together. I'm doing a lot of this right now with my realtor partner. It's like, okay, what do we want the end of 2013 to look like? How can we help you get one more deal per month? And then the biggest, Paul, never give up, okay? Never, ever, ever give up. Now, you may have to change your goals. You might have to change your business plan. You may have to change your partners, but never give up, okay? I refuse. And with all the changes, that's typically what takes place. So, clarity. Here's what we're going to kind of cover today in general is clarity, goals, 30, 60, 90 day, and 12 month. I'm going to show you how to come up with these. Everybody's going to be different. So I'm going to give you some homework. I hate to say it, some homework that I really want you to focus on. I really want you to do this, okay? Health is going to be a big one. Like if you are healthy, everything else just falls into place. So we're going to put that into our goal of, getting healthy, all right? And I'm going to do it with you. Income, we're going to figure out what do you want to make and why do you want to make that much and what is that going to do for you, your business, and your family, okay? And of course, before we figure income, we got to go, okay, how much are our expenses? How much is my house payment, car payment, insurance payment, and all that stuff? So we're going to talk about that a little bit.
I think that's a part that a lot of people forget to include in their business plan is thinking about what they're everybody wants to think about how much money they're going to make, but you don't always think about what your expenses are. Correct. In addition, what you have to make. Absolutely, what do you have to make that has to be included. It's Correct. We think about what we want in life instead of what we need in life sometimes.
Absolutely. How much am I going to use, included in these expenses, how much is my marketing budget? How much can I spend? Or more importantly, how much do I want to spend? Because, you and I both know, Paul, if I put $20 into a machine and it spits out 100, I'm going to keep putting 20s into that machine. So where can I spend my money the most, like where it's going to give me the biggest bang for the buck?
Sure.
And am I going to spend money that may not make me any money? Then I have to track it to go, all right, that didn't work. I'm trying something else. Assistant, I would love for everybody on this call by the end of January to have an assistant in place because you literally can't be everything to everybody. You have to have help doing it. So I'm going to show you some ways to go, okay, what does my assistant do, which is really important. Look at the goals and plan, adjust every 90 days, okay? And then we put a plan in place after we have all that together. So what I want you to do, you're probably going to want to take out a piece of paper and pencil. Not necessarily right now, but this is how you're going to have to do this, okay? And of course, we're gonna keep it healthy, right? So I'm going to show you how we start a business plan. It's called a mind map. And we're going to kind of cover the clarity, the goals, the plan, overwhelmed. Why? The number one thing I hear from every real estate agent, every loan officer is, I'm just overwhelmed. Whether it's fear-related, whether it's health-related, whether it's objections, whether it's technology-related, whether it's buyers and sellers-related, I don't have enough income. I literally just, technology makes me cringe and I can't do it. I don't have a follow-up in place, so there's some reason that caused me to be overwhelmed, and it's probably one of all of these things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that can cause this issue. So a couple things that I'm going to share with you today, and there's a million different ways to do this. I've used Bubble, bubbl.us, and I've used MindMeister. This is what I'm going to demo on today. This probably for me is the easiest one. I love it. It's free for a short period of time, and then I think it's $5 a month or whatever. So you can share it with your partners. You can share it with your teammate. You can share it with your assistant. This is, for me, the way that I go, all right, what is going on inside my head, and this is how to get it out there so I can see it on paper, show it with other people, and then get input, and then with my people that I know, like, and trust that are high-end producers that are doing really well, this is where I go to with them and go, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Am I really hitting where I need to hit with this? So another thing you have to do, and this is probably, God, Paul, I would say the most important, is what do you love? I mean, seriously, what gets you up in the morning? What keeps you up at night? I love to work with buyers. I love to present. I love to work out. I love to work with sellers. I love to connect, engage, and interact on social media. I love to blog. Maybe you're a writer. I love to do local events. Like there's a bunch of events going on because of the holidays. I love to spend time with family, of course. That's got to be, I mean, if you love to do that, then let's find a way to put people in place to where you can still do the same amount of business, actually more business, but have the time to spend with your family, okay? And you want more of it. So you got to find out what you love. Once you find that, let's just find a way to set up goals and a plan in place to make this all happen, okay? Whatever it is you love. And everybody's going to be a little bit different. Maybe you love to ride horses, or maybe you love to golf. I got a guy that his goal is to golf 200 rounds of golf a year and close 200 deals a year. So how do we do that? I'm meeting with him tomorrow to set a plan in place to where I think he actually golfed 200 rounds and he had his best year ever. So how do we keep that going? You know what I mean? How do we put people in place? And he gets the mindset of I got to have people in place to do that. And if once one is overwhelmed, then I got to hire one more person. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So here's a couple of things that I come up with that for me could be overwhelming. The 80-20 is like, okay, I'm not focusing on the 20% that's making me 80% of the money, and maybe I'm doing some stuff that's maybe $10, $12 an hour work that somebody else could be doing, where I could be doing the high-end $100, $200, $300 work, right? Don't know where to start. I hear this a lot. Okay, I love social media, love Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I don't know where to start, okay? That's overwhelming for me.
That's a very big one.
Right? Lack of income. That obviously is a huge stabber in the heart. I'm overwhelmed because I don't have enough income to maybe put some stuff in place or hire an assistant.
To focus on my 80% while I focus on my 20.
Correct. Too much on my plate. This was huge for me, Paul. Last time I was down with you guys, Carl looked me straight in the eye and he says, hey, what is your number one thing? And I said, Carl, I don't actually know. So this has literally, I mean, I have not been this happy in so long once I've done this exercise, and I hope I can help at least one person on the call do the same thing. So fear of failure, that's a big one. It's like if I try something and I fail, now I feel like a failure, right? That's hard to overcome. But in business, you have to know that not every single thing you're going to do is going to work. It's okay. Get back up. Try it again until you find something that works. Fear of the unknown. This is a big one. I don't know what's going to happen if I do that. I don't know if I send an email to somebody that doesn't like me, what is going to happen.
What if it doesn't work?
What if it doesn't work? Oh, my God, that's going to be devastating, right? So I'm just not going to do it, period. Lack of listings. How do I get more listings? Lack of buyers. How do I get more buyers? You know, all this stuff. I mean, there's a million of these. No money for marketing, sole income earner. Maybe you're the only person that's making any money in the family right now. That's a huge responsibility. So how do I make sure that I focus 99% of my time to doing things that's going to put one more deal in the pipeline to close every single week or month or day or whatever? Maybe you're overwhelmed because you have lack of communication skills or lack of presentation skills. Or whatever it is, you need to figure that out. So another thing I want to cover is fear of failure, fear of looking bad, fear of losing. So here's a bunch of fears that I've come up with that I hear from people that they go, here's one of my fears. And I just kind of threw them all out there. So before I go any farther, what I'm going to share with you is a really cool way to put this in paper and put it on a mindset of, and I'm going to show you just what this all means. It's called Meester, Mind Meester. So what I did is I started a new mind map. And here's my goals. Here's my plan. I have no goals. I have no plan, right? I can move this around. Can you see that okay, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and then I put the topics that I already shared with you. So, in one that you guys see, the one that's missing, no, here it is, health, overwhelmed, and I kind of put these in an order that I think are the most important. Health is number one. When you're healthy, everything you think clearer. It helps you with stress. It helps you with decisions. It helps you with everything. So, I'm overwhelmed. So, what are some things that cause me to be overwhelmed? I mean, it's going to be probably the things that you're either have fear of or whatever. So I'm going to go to overwhelmed, and I'm going to go plus, and one of them is going to be 80-20, all right? Number two is going to be don't know where to start. That would be don't know where to start. So you're going to go through, and you're going to literally throw your heart out, and you know, it may not be, you may add one to this. I mean, to add one to clarity, like I want some clarity on these 8 things or 7 things, which are going to make up my goals and my plan in place. Does that make sense, Paul?
Absolutely. So what you're doing is you're mapping out, okay, so for health, what are some of the things I need to do to be healthy this year? I need to go and get my health checkup at the doctor, you know, this year to make sure I'm good. I need to work out more frequently. Yeah, absolutely. Eat less food or eat healthier breakfasts every morning.
Correct.
Little things like that. For my overwhelmed, you know, I'm one that I tend to take too much and put too much on my plate at the same time. You know, that's one of the things that I know that I need to work on for me is that I allow myself to have too much on my plate. Another thing is that I tend to work on things that are maybe not the 20% of my business that makes me the most amount of money. I'll tend to maybe focus on one of those things that isn't making me as much money, the 80% that isn't making the money, but it's something that has to be done, and instead of delegating it, I do it. You know, not productive is a huge one. You know, that's one we all struggle with. You know, we all have those days where we sit down and, you know, it's more fun to look at Facebook or see what's happening, you know, in our personal emails as opposed to working a little bit.
Right. I mean, maybe emails. I mean, emails too many. I mean, so like you're going to go through this, and I'm telling you, this is not, Paul, this is not easy. I'm telling you, there was sweat and blood when I did this, and I had other people help me. I'm like, okay, what else do I bring up? What else do I share? And I mean, let me just show you let me just show you one mind map that I put together for myself.
Karen Jessen just said it really, really well, what I was trying to say. It says, I think sometimes think sometimes we are busy, we think we're productive, and that's not necessarily true.
Correct.
Very well said, Karen. Thank you.
Very well played. So here's the mind that I did that I want to literally. So here's some fears. I mean, a lot of these are the same fears, but here's follow-up. So the follow-up in place, clarity of follow-up, basic of follow-up. I mean, when to, what to say, what systems to use, value of follow-up, fear of failure, fear of rejection. Because if I follow up and I say, hey, and they say, take me off your list, you don't know how many times that I hear an agent or talk to an agent or a loan officer, and they say, man, I sent an email and I had 2 people opt out. And they're focused on the 2 people when they send an email to 100 people. Why is it that people focus on the negative instead of the 98 people that didn't opt out and the 50 people that opened the email and like didn't respond, but it's okay. Why don't you know? Overcoming objections. Check this out. In-house lender. This is for me. So I have something similar. I'm not a techie person. A lot of these would apply to you. What's in it for you? How does it help me get more listings? This is a real estate agent. How does it help me attract buyers? results in advance. How can I want to give something when I talk to a buyer or a seller? How do I give them something in advance so I create value at the beginning of the relationship? What's the cost? RESPA. How to stay focused? How do I stay legal? Don't do anything illegal. How do I stay legal? Overwhelmed. That's a lot of the same stuff there. So as you build these, presenting, technology, what to present, follow. So there's all these different things that you can build and go off from, and they're gonna come in your own taste. They're gonna come in your own feelings, your own thoughts, but until you put them on paper, here's the thing: is I look at this mind map every single day, and when somebody says to me, Scott, are you, when you, I call it clarity. When somebody says, hey, how about that radio show? One is it's something that is going to help me reach my goal of, let's just say that I want to close 100 transactions this year, all right? 100 transactions, and I want to make $100,000, all right? Clear after expenses. That's what I want to make. I mean, so whatever your goal is, that's what it is. Whoops. And if it's more than that, great. If it's less than that, that's okay too. But you have to decide what that is. If it's 50,000, if it's 25,000, whatever it is. Maybe you're on the call and you're working part-time and you go, you know what? I would love to just close one deal every other month. Then put goals, one deal every other month, and that's your goal. So whatever that is, you have to decide that. So one deal every other month. But before you do any of your goals, you go, okay, is 100,000 gonna pay for my expenses? You know what I'm saying? So I have another tool that I'm going to give to you guys. All you got to do is contact the loan professional that sent you here, and it's called a agent expense. Okay, this is an Excel spreadsheet. Somebody created this, and I just swiped it from them, copied it from them. Yeah, if I could give credit to it, I think it was actually from Ask. There was a free website, or whatever. So this is something you have to. This is not an option. You have to do this. So you put in how much is your mortgage? It's $800. How much is your automobile payment? It's $300. And what your homeowner's insurance? It's $50 a month, or it's annually, or whatever. Electric, telephone, gas, clothing, entertainment. And I would make a box for fun money. I want to spend so much per month just on something that it doesn't even matter to me. I just want to spend it on something that's going to make me feel really good and have fun. So that's fun money. That's different than entertainment, because entertainment might be like going to a hockey game, football game, whatever it is. But what is fun money? I want to take and go to one of the nicest restaurants, and I want to blow $200 on dinner, and I don't even want to care about it. So, all right, $200 a month, that's what it's going to be. All right?
Hey, Scotty, real quick on a side note, is MindMeister a free site, or is that a paid site?
It's actually a paid site, and I've went through a bunch of them. Bubble.us is actually a free one, so bubble.us is actually a free one. This one's, you can just go here, bubble.us, you log in, sign in, create an account, and it's free. It's just a little different. I found this one just really super simple to use. So once you do this, the cool part about MindMeister is I actually pay $10 a month for this, because once I'm done with this, Paul, I can export this mind map into a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, okay.
So I can take this, click on the little button, I can drop this little thing down here, and I can export. And there's a million different ways. The more you pay, the more options you have. But I can export into a PowerPoint 2000, whatever PowerPoint you have. So I can instantly put it into what I'm sharing with you today. And that's how I've created this PowerPoint. I've created a mind map of what is holding people back, what is keeping them from reaching their goals, what do they really have to make, and then how many deals do they have to close to do that. So when you get down to the bottom of this and your expenses are whatever, you put in, okay, I have to close, where is it, it's right here, 12 deals. So 12 deals a month, and it shows you if you're going to cash flow or not cash flow. And you put in percentages of percent of business in the spring, percent of business in the summer, fall, winter, and all that stuff must equal 100%. And then your average loan size. So my average loan size is 100.
This is pretty cool. Are you gonna make this available too?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And then enter your split percentage. So your split percentage, whatever it is, so 60%. And then it shows you you're going to make this much in January, this much. So if I close a deal a month, this is how much I'm going to make, and this is how much I'm going to make annually. All right? So obviously you have personal expenses and you have real estate expenses. Don't cheat yourself on this. I mean, you do no good to go, it's probably only, I mean, if you have to have the exact number of what your
for this to actually be for this to work. This is not this exercise. What he's showing you here in this sheet, what it's showing you is it's going to allow you to give yourself a not a good idea, but an exact account of what you need to do in your business next year in order for you to have the growth rate or to have that sense of freedom that you're looking for, that comfort. Or,
it's going to give you clarity. It's going to give you clarity on what you have to do, because if you don't know what you have to do, you're just shooting fish in a barrel, right? It's like, oh man, if I hit one, I don't. If I do, great. But if you know I have to close one deal a month to pay everything that I have, with no fun included, well then that's one deal. So every deal after that. So if I close 2, now I'm making money. If I close 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever that is, now you're making money. Okay. So there's your fears. Here's overcoming objections. I think that a lot of people just think this is I'll learn it when it happens, and then maybe I'll remember it, maybe I won't. I'm telling you, this is one of the keys to success. I mean, my number one is follow-up, and I'm going to go over that later, but overcoming objections. So if you go to budguerrero.com/40 objections, it's going to cover literally 40 objections. I know someone in real estate, not ready to buy or sell. I'm going to sell FSBO. So one of the goals that you have to have for yourself, and this is not like you have to, or maybe you do, maybe you don't. You have to be able to overcome. If you're going to be in sales, you got to know what the objections are and then how to overcome them the best that you can to keep the client or get the client. Would you agree? Absolutely. Okay. So here's a bunch of objections. Now here's the thing. Take one objection a day. One a day. Now this is like you putting a business in place, your plan in place, your goal in place. Take one objection a day, master it, practice it, 30 in 30 days. Now if you go, all right, I'm going to do one every other day, then you got 15 in 30 days. But if you never do it, guess what? You're never going to master them, right? You have to be the master of objections. I mean, you do a lot of studying of a lot of different people, why they were good.
Well, once you master an objection, it's no longer an objection. It's just a selling point for you. And if you don't master the objections, then it will always be an objection that is difficult for you to overcome. But again, once you master it, it's no longer an objection for you. Now it becomes a selling point. You love to hear those objections because you know exactly how to overcome that.
Yeah, you're like waiting with bated breath that they please give me that objection because I will eat your lunch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's the thing. All right, so technology.
And you get confidence out of that as well from being able to answer to any of those things that come up.
Absolutely. One of the systems we showed is the eProperty sites, but logging in, adding properties, listing presentation, PowerPoint presentation. Why would you want a PowerPoint presentation when you have a computer? Well, what if your computer blows up right on the way to the presentation? Been there, done that. Your battery's dead. You have no internet. You've got to have backup.
Or isn't it nice to leave the seller with something tangible in their hand that reminds them of everything wonderful that you just showed them that you're going to do? It reminds them of that results in advance that you've already done with them.
Correct. So when you go to your mind map, you have the technology part of this. So I'm going to go into Clarity here, and then you're creating the technology part. Here it is right here. So you're going to go, all right, listing presentation. So the listing presentation is one of the things that I have to have up-to-date tool systems and strategies. I have to be better than my competition. So technology, that would be presentation. So maybe another Clarity part would be presentations, right? I mean, so you're going to have to build this thing however you think is best for you. So presentations. So presentation is would be another one to be sellers, buyers. So you got to I mean, and this thing may grow over 30 days. What's that?
Partners.
Partners. Business to business, B2B. FSBOs. How do I present to FSBOs to get every single FSBO in town? How do I present to builders so that they want to work with me and send me other buyer leads, right? How about CPAs, financial planners for people that are looking to move up or move down or whatever. I mean, so presentations. Do I have presentations for each one of these? And maybe a goal is to present to one per week. One presentation per week to a different group, right? Below in my presentation. So whatever that is, and I can't. Oh, there we go. One presentation per week to a different group. All right. So I mean, as you can see, this is going to get serious. I mean, here's what I've done is when I started this, I did the best I could. I put it away, opened it back up, and then here's what's going to happen when you do this. You're going to lay there in bed at night. Trust me on this. You're going to sit there watching a TV show, and something's going to pop into your head, and you're going to go, man, I didn't know, but man, I have a fear of approaching FSBOs, because I don't have anything of value to give them, so I have nothing. I mean,
I don't have a good presentation, so
Correct.
I need to. One of my fears to eliminate that left side's fear, to eliminate it,
Correct.
because that's basically what you're doing is you're making sure that the things on the left side are checked off, so that the things that you want on the right side can actually happen.
Yeah, and you can move these around if you want. I mean, you can move them all around. But so my fear is presenting to FSBOs because I don't have a presentation to give to FSBOs that is something of value that is going to help me build that relationship, because it's not about one FSBO anymore. It's about a person that has friends, family, and coworkers, and that relationship, I can guarantee you, whoever it is, will lead to a new purchase and a new sale. I can guarantee you, if you work hard to build that one relationship, you will get a deal out of it. Trust me on that. And then it goes, okay, well, once I get the FSBO, now I have a follow-up problem. No follow-up in place. See how this all plays out? And this may not take place January 1, but if you don't know what your goals are, and you don't know what your fears are, and you don't know what your objections are, and what your technology challenges are, there's no way to work on them and put a plan in place that's going to help you reach your goals, and then help you have a clear plan of, okay, the plan is, and then you put your plan. Okay, health number 1, overwhelmed. From being overwhelmed, I'm going to remove this, and this from my plate. Maybe I'm only going to work on presenting to sellers this month, and next month I'm going to be buyers, partners, and then whatever it is. So I'm going to build this all out, and when it's done, it's going to look like a freaking mess, but it's going to be my mind and my business out on so I can create a goal with a business plan. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. All right, this just gets me excited because it literally clears so much. I'm like, there's no thinking anymore because it's all out on paper. And if you just, you go through the day and you just think it, there's no way in heck you're going to ever, because once you think one thing and another thing enters your mind, they say that you can only hold 7 thoughts. So that's the best you can do. So when another one takes the place of it, you're going to lose something. And for me, I don't think I can actually physically hold 7 thoughts and actually be productive at doing it. So here's a couple of things: power presentation, buyer's presentation, broadcast my move. What am I doing for people after I close? Do I have a follow-up in place to follow up with them after they close? Because I know that they have friends, family, and coworkers, and people are going to be coming over their new house to visit, and they're going to go, oh my God, this is so cool. And if they absolutely loved me as a real estate agent, they're probably going to have people go, man, I'm thinking I would love to buy a new house. Oh my God, here's his card, here's her card. Just give them a call. They're so awesome to work with, and they have a plan. They can put a plan in place for you. I mean, you could do this with your buyer, for God's sake. You could put a mind map together and say, okay, Mr. Buyer, what are some of the fears that you have of buying a home? I mean, think about that. That'd be huge, right? And then, okay, so you meet with 20 buyers over the next 12 months, and you put a series of 10 fears, and then you do a video on the 12 fears, and you send it as a drip campaign to each one of your buyers. Go, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I just wanted to, one of the fears that a lot of the buyers that I work with have is that, man, should they rent or should they buy, and what are the benefits of owning a home compared to why I should not just rent this home and not have to worry about a water heater if it goes out or this or that or whatever. I mean, so that's a real fear, right? So one new piece of technology a week or a month or a day, whatever you want to set for yourself. But set it. 1 hour a day, I'm going to focus on my listing presentation, and I'm going to make sure that I can do it on my iPhone, my computer, and I can really quickly have a PowerPoint presentation.
It's a
Boom.
fantastic, and if you're curious, if you don't know where to go or what to look for or what tech, I mean, that kind of falls back into a fear. If you don't, if you're fearful of technology, then it's going to be more difficult for you to come up with a technology to learn. Contact the loan professional who invited you here today and ask them for access to a technology class that we've done before. They'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction or provide you with a technology class. Yeah, or partner up with the loan professional who invited you and have an accountability and learn together. Hey, I am really wanting to learn how to do a Facebook fan page. Would you mind let's get together. Let's do this together. Hey, I would really love to know how to send out an email to all my clients at the same time. Can we work on this together?
Absolutely.
Have somebody that is willing to hold your hand through the process. They're in the same position as you in that they are looking at this same class thinking, yeah, that's a great idea. I am going to learn a technology a month so that I can, at the end of 12 months, I know 12 brand new technologies that are all helping me grow my business and keeping me up to date with what's happening in today's market. I'm not talking about 5 years ago or 10 years ago market. We're talking about today's market. The buyer is different. It's proven when the National Association of Realtors came out with the fact that 97% of people are looking online for a home before they shop. That should let you know the direction of where people are going. And so this technology one is a big one for me. I mean, it came kind of close to my heart to begin with. Yeah. But it's very important that you do take the time to learn these things, and you don't have to learn them in a way that, oh my gosh, you got to drink fire from water from a fire hose. One a month. Just take one thing a month and learn it. And at the end of 12 months, guess what you've got? You've got an entire arsenal behind you that you can fire at you've got an entire arsenal at your disposal that is all able to generate business in one way, shape, or form.
No question. So I want to focus a little bit just on this one, like sounding stupid. I mean, the reason, that is a huge fear because, when I meet with people, I'm like, okay, why don't you present to me as if I'm the seller? And it's like they're scared of that, but they're scared because they didn't have a plan. They didn't have a goal of, okay, I'm going to master this listing presentation. I'm going to master this buyer's presentation. I'm going to master this. They've never done it. So how can you, but here's the thing. It's going to be better than any listing presentation if it's up-to-date tool systems and strategies. And if you're using the system that we've shared before that has the pre-listing, listing, and then after-close condition like strategy, then the words are right there for you. But when I started training people on this stuff and helping my real estate agents with this stuff, you think I was an expert? No, but I feel that if I hold back and don't share this stuff with you guys, and you should feel the same way. If I don't share with the seller that I have all this really cool stuff, you guys all have it available to you. If I don't share it, one, I might lose the listing. Two is, God, man, I'm not doing them any service of not sharing this. Even if I don't know it 100%, you have a team in place now with the loan officer that sent you here, and they're learning as well as you do. Work together to put a goal and a plan in place to go, all right, we're going to do this together. I'm going to present to you. You're going to present to me. We're going to present to you. Back and forth, week after week after week. You guys will be solid at the end of a couple months, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
We're all, everybody on this call is, that's what's wonderful about this group that we gather together here. We've got some of the smartest people. You're very smart people. You're not in the position that you're at because you're not smart people. So get somebody that is a like-minded individual, find a partner that you can have accountability with, and, you guys can learn these things very quickly. It's just a matter of knowing, it kind of goes back to that whole MindMeister and mapping out what it is. Well, I know that I need to learn this, so where do I start to learn this? That now you're eliminating these fears of I don't know where to start because you've got somebody to pick up the phone and say, hey, I know you were around this. Where do I start to get going on this? How do I learn that too?
Correct. I mean, it's just starting. Having, it goes back to the simple having a plan and having goals and going. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So what I did is I put presenting to buyers and sellers. I put results in advance #1 because when you do something of value to whoever it is you're talking to, I mean, like I hate to present or show anybody anything unless I've set them up with their name in bright lights. I just refuse. I almost will push it off until I can actually have that happen. For example, if you were to walk into a seller and have their home website set up, their text code, QR code, virtual tours, all that stuff set up with one picture, and you walk in and you share with them, here's what I've already done for you to help you get more exposure for your home in today's buyer's market, you are 10,000 times ahead of your competition. I'm telling you, it's helping agents get their full commissions. They're not having to negotiate. I mean, they don't want to
There is
negotiate.
a certain thing that happens in the psyche of the seller when you are saying things like, here's what I've done, versus when you say things like, here's what I'm going to do. It's a psychology thing. I'd never majored in it, didn't go to school for it, so I don't know the gist of it, but I will tell you there is a psychology change when you're saying to someone, whether it be a seller, a buyer, a referral partner, whatever it is, when you're saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know what I've done for you, here's what I've done, versus that same conversation, whether it's the same tools you're going to use, saying, here's what I can or will do for you. It's a different, it creates a different mental image of what you are, what you're willing to do. It puts you in a different light.
Correct. I mean, think about this. I mean, so results in advance. You could have a buyer's presentation, seller's presentation, FSBO. Now, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, and you're like, holy crap, Scott, slow down, right? But I'm just saying, you need to put this, whatever you want for your business, for your life, for your family. I mean, really, when it boils down to it, it's like, okay, why am I doing all this? Because I want to provide for my family. I want to have nice things. I want to, whatever that is. I mean, so you need to do this for yourself, and I'm giving you a million different ideas, and we're going to give you a copy of this PowerPoint so you can use them and then go off of them to do whatever you want to do. But, I mean, so what are you doing for a new Facebook friend that you've never met before that likes your page or friends your page? Are you doing anything at all? Why not? Because that is a potential client. You don't know how they heard about you. You don't know that if you send an email to a friend and they forward it to 300 of their friends, and now one's like, that's pretty cool. I want to connect with them, and I just want to kind of figure them out. You won't believe how many people have come to me and said, hey, I've been following you for a year now, and I just love what you're doing. I want to work with you. And I'm like, that's where you don't know you don't know when your fruit, like when you do stuff, you don't know when it's going to come to fruition, right? You have no idea. But if you're not doing it, if you're not, I mean, every single person that likes me, test me on this, you get a personal message back from me saying, hey, thanks for the friend request. Hope you're doing well. Have a great day, great week, great weekend. Whenever the time is, I make it so that it's not automated. Some people have an automated message that goes out. Mine is personal. And if I look at a picture on their Facebook because I go to their wall and say, okay, do I know them and do I have friends in common with them, and I happen to see a really cool picture of their kids or like whatever the holiday is, I'll comment on that picture, which says, hey, one, I accept your friendship. Two is, I actually paid attention to what you have going on here. That type of thing is a huge connection, and I can't even tell you how far that little thing goes. Same thing on LinkedIn. Same thing on Pinterest. Hey, thanks for following me on Pinterest. Look, I'm following you back. Look forward to sharing pictures back and forth and really cool stuff. Have a great weekend. Whatever. So like that type of thing is huge. An email. Be considerate on an email. You don't know what they're saying when it comes to an email. Always put yourself in their place. Like, how would they want to feel if I responded to this? So maybe Results in Advance is responding to emails. Maybe you're not real good at it. And, maybe you're awesome at it, but it could be better. Who knows? Responding to emails. Like, how could I put something in my signature that is a Results in Advance type thing? And I'm going to show you guys something at the end after we stop the recorder that I found today that I did the tip of the week on. It's one way to get out there. So like maybe another thing, and I'm just going off on tangents here, is connecting and engaging. Now, how can what turns people? What excites people? What are people love viral videos, obviously, right? So how do I find viral videos? How do I send viral videos to my friends, family, and coworkers? Stuff like that. I mean, you guys kind of know where I'm going, Paul? I know I'm going off on tangents, but
Well,
just,
what you're showing here is that you can
never ends.
put your mind on paper so that you can organize
Correct.
those thoughts and you don't lose those thoughts. And then
Correct.
from there you map out what your plan of action is going to be. You look at, okay, what's the one thing of the things that are, that I need help with in my business. What's the one thing that I think is the number one that has kept me back? And I can map that as the very first thing I want to start work on, is that number one thing that's held me back this year. Maybe it was fear of talking to FSBOs. Maybe that was the big thing this year that I just never were able to get past that. That's the biggest thing that I think if I could get more FSBOs to list their properties with me, then my year would have been, I could have doubled my business last year. If that's it, then map that out. And what Scott's showing is an easy way to put those thoughts into a format that it gives you a visual. It lets you see what your thoughts are in front of you, and that makes it much easier to make that map or that business plan. And that's really what a business plan is just a map of where you're going to go tomorrow, next week, and the next day.
And here, so like I was just looking at this and I'm going, okay, listing. So I get the listing. I got QR codes, text codes, website, spokesperson, blogging. Blogging, somebody asked what that is. It's property blogging. So maybe like the blog. I mean, we have a class on that that's really good. Craigslist. So like, and I missed open houses. So like, crap, man. So I added open houses to my mind map or my PowerPoint presentation. And then from my PowerPoint presentation, what you do is you go, okay, this makes for a great listing presentation, right? So I got QR codes, open house. I mean, so you could go through each one and go, here's what I'm going to have in my listing presentation, and make sure that I cover it. And then take my marketing book and make sure this is all part of it. You know what I mean? It's huge. So after close, broadcast my move, follow-up emails every month for 5 years. Why would you not do this? And if you don't have a system in place for follow-up, you need to get one. You need to figure that out and put that number one on your list, because and I'm going to cover some of that anyway. So all right. So technology, we covered that. Printing, presenting, buyers and sellers. So how do we, sphere of influence, how do we get more buyers and sellers? How are we going to connect with more of these to have more leads coming in? Open houses, groups, fellowship places, social media, farming, current listings, and then like each one of these could be a different arm. So sphere of influence, friends, family, coworkers, open houses, all my listings, or other people's listings. I mean, you can do open houses on any listing, right? Groups, what groups am I a part of? Fellowship place, social media. What am I doing on social media? Which sites do I want to literally focus on, and which sites am I going to turn off and not ever go into? You have to. Sometimes you got to say no, right? Farming. If you're doing some, how are you doing it? Are you sending the old postcard, or are you sending people to a Facebook page that now they can connect and engage, and interacting on their own neighborhood?
With their own neighbor, yep.
Right.
A couple of ways to do that.
Yeah, stuff like that. Brokers, current listings. So like Craigslist, FSBOs, Builder. I mean, so a lot of this stuff kind of, you might have some of the same categories and some of the same, but that's okay, because you might have a fear of open houses because you have no idea, you don't know how to set it up, but like, okay, that's where I got to spend some time on is open houses, because I know I'm going to build relationships with local neighbors, that type of stuff. So reticular activator. I think someone brought this up, and I applaud them for that. Law of reciprocity, I think someone said. So reticular activator, when you are working with a buyer or a seller, there's this thing, and I've brought this up before, but I want to cover it again. Reticular activator is when you are buying, and you'll notice this the next time it happens to you, when you buy something, when you're looking to buy something like a red car, you're looking to buy a brand new Ford Fusion and it's red, you will notice every single red car on the road. It's just it's what your mind does to you. If you're looking to buy a home, you're going to see every single for sale sign on the planet. If you're looking to sell a home, you're going to see every for sale sign on the planet. So when you're working with somebody, the more you stay in front of them, the more you build a deeper relationship. I mean, how many people on the call send a friendly text at least once a week to their sellers or buyers to say, hey, hope you're having a great week. Let me know if you have any questions. How many do that? I mean, if you do, I applaud you, and I wish I had an applaud button. But little touches like that are huge, because the more they think about you, the more they're going to talk about it, the more they're going to share with their friends, family, and coworkers. All right, business to business owners, database management. One new buyer or seller a week or a day. I mean, my goal is to talk to someone that is looking to buy a new home or refinance a new home every single day. That's just my goal. I may not get any today or tomorrow, but I may get 3 on Thursday. So whatever it is, if you're not striving for 1 a day or 1 a week, whatever it is, you're missing the boat. Now, how much time should you spend on that? What if you spent every waking moment on that? What would your business look like in 90 days? Connecting, engaging, visiting, talking, sharing. There's all kinds of different stuff on social media, to your database, sending an email once a week. You should send an email at least once a week. If they opt out, who cares? It doesn't matter. Keep adding people to your database, sending them cool stuff. Not, I got a new listing, or, hey, looking to buy a home. Send cool stuff. Like one of the tips I'm going to share with you at the end of this class here really quickly is really cool. So let's just keep going. One of the biggest challenges, here's the question I have for you, and this is serious. You can't grow if you don't follow up with those that know, like, and trust you, including the new ones. What is the use? So you will always be fighting an uphill battle. Do you always want to be looking for a new buyer that doesn't know, like, or trust you, that you have to build a relationship with? Or would you rather work with a warm referral from a friend, family, or I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but everybody that I talk to is not connecting and going deep with the people that already know, like, and trust them, that they already helped get into a home or get out of a home. Why is that? Because you're fighting for a new hot lead when the hot lead is sitting right next to the person you just helped.
And that's one of the things that, and you guys have heard us talk about this before. The National Association of Realtors put out a study a couple of years ago that said the average buyer said that they would work with their real estate agent. 80% of people said they'd work with their real estate agent again, but in reality, only 7% actually did a second transaction with their original real estate agent. And when asked why, said they couldn't remember who they were. But that, what about that other 73% of people? Just by having a plan in place, and that's huge for me. Is talking to you guys about that follow-up plan, and a follow-up plan is not just following up with current people in your pipeline. Following up means following up with past clients. It means following up with friends of past clients that maybe happen to get on your email list, or finding out the email of your past clients, friends, family, coworkers. Those are the people that are the easiest. They say it takes an average of $8 to $9 to generate a brand new referral or a new lead.
Correct.
It costs $0 to get a referral or lead from a person you've already done business with. It is a huge part of the business that I think is probably being missed by most. And that's something to think about in your business plan for this year, is what are you going to do different this year to make sure that 73% does come back to you? Correct.
So I'm just giving you, so once you complete all of this, going back to the follow-up here, guys, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is going to keep you from, this is going to hold you back right here, is if you have no follow-up in place. And the follow-up could be a response. You got to find out where people, some people are on Facebook. Some people like to text back and forth. Some people like to email back and forth. You need to find out which ones are where, who your lead sources are. Some of your business owners are going to be great lead sources for you. You need to build a really deep relationship with those people so that you are top of mind every single second of every single day. So clarity of follow-up, the basic of follow-up email and phone and video. So like when you follow up by email, what does it look like? Can you set? I bring this up all the time. Joe Girard was the #1 car salesman in the world. Still has the record. And all he did was send a postcard every single month to every single one he'd ever sold a car to. And you know what the card said? It said, "I like you." That was it. That was it. It's so simple, stupid, but we think that we have to send these complicated, informational, I don't know. Hey,
16-page newsletters that nobody's reading.
no, a simple email saying, "Hey, have a great day."
I like you.
I did it the other day to a couple of agents. I just wanted to see the response. Say, "Hey," and I complimented him on something because they presented. And he's on the call right now, and I know he is. But I wanted to use this as an example. I responded and said, "Hey, great job last week. I just really good stuff. Have a great week." That was it. No call to action. No, how you doing? What you doing this week? It's just like, "Hey, have a great week. Good job last week." That was it. So I'm telling you, that little stuff like that. Here's the thing. I bought, and I gotta turn on my camera for this because this is blowing me away. I got a guy that, and here's the crazy thing of follow-up is I got a guy that. Let me just turn on my camera so you guys can see this. It just blows my mind. Maybe I can turn on my camera. Here we go. So this guy. So I buy this Yeti mic. So this. Sorry, let's point it up a little bit. Let me point it down. So this Yeti mic. It was a $97 microphone. Okay. All right. This is the microphone that I'm talking to you on right now. Paul, can you still hear me?
Yep.
I always hit the button right there. That's the mute button. So if I hit it, you won't hear me. So a $97 mic. It's in the guitar store, and he sent me an email saying, "Hey, thanks for coming in. It was nice to get to know you. Let me know what you think about the microphone." A week later, "Hey, just wonder if you need anything else to go with that microphone. Hope you're doing good." That was it. I'm like, I bought a $97 microphone. Sorry about that. Here we are live, and I do not disturb thing here. Anyway. Sorry, where's my do not disturb? Ah, there it is. Okay.
Joe's
so do
Pizza.
Not disturb. Joe's Pizza. Yeah. So I just blows my mind that that's how simple it is, and I only spent $97. We're helping people buy $100, $200 million homes, and we don't follow up with them. Oh my God! And they walk in that front door, the garage door, every single day. So that's why I'm such a stickler on this. It's amazing just to build nice, deep relationships with your phone, with your social media sites, all kinds of really cool stuff. So just do me a favor. Do the homework. Don't skip this. Whether you do it on PowerPoint, whether you do it on you know what? You don't even need this. All you need is a piece of paper. Buy a notepad. Do it on a notepad, whatever it is. You can do with a mind map on the notepad. Back up a piece of paper. And it would look the same, and then put it into something that you see every single day. Print it out. And the reason I present this to you, and the reason I'm helping you with this, is because I threw out there some goals that I have in place. I wanted to share them with you. Share them with your wife. Share them with your husband. Share them with your clients. Say, "Hey, my goal is to help 100 people get into a new home this year." Not close 100 deals. The thing is to help 100 people get into a home. 100 different families, that's my goal. So make it about the family, make it about them. I can't tell you how much this will bring clarity to your life.
The key for this and the key for the spreadsheet where you map out what your income, what your expenditures are, the key to both of these things being a benefit to you and actually helping you create your 2013 business plan. Yep. I cannot stress this enough, is be 100% honest with yourself.
Absolutely.
Don't cheat yourself on the numbers. Don't cheat yourself on the fears. Don't cheat yourself on the things that you have done well. It's okay to be braggadocious in this situation on the things you've done well, because those are things you want to continue to do, just the same as being honest about the things you haven't done well so that you can improve on them.
Correct.
Be upfront and honest with yourself, because if you do that, you will then develop a business plan that is truly accurate, that is truly going to benefit you, that you can actually follow. If you slight yourself in creating it, what's going to happen is you won't ever actually follow it, because you'll know in the back of your mind, well, it's really not a full, it really doesn't represent that, so I can kind of skip this corner. But if you're upfront and honest with yourself, it'll be something that's in your mind. You're setting an expectation for yourself, and you'll know, well, no. I know I was dead honest about this thing, and I know I cannot afford, I really want that to take place this year. I cannot afford to not do it, because I know that's what I did last year, and that's why it's on my business plan for this year as something I need to fix.
Correct. So just to end this, we got 3 minutes left. So get with your loan officer and do this together. Don't cheat yourself on this. Do this together, okay? I'm going to give you, with your loan officer, they're going to have available for you an agent expense spreadsheet that I showed you. There's a funnel sheet, which is really cool. Here's the funnel sheet. It shows where your marketing's going, where you're spending your money, repeat clients, website. So how many people are repeat? So I had 10 or whatever, which makes up a percentage of what that is, and it gives you a dollar amount, anticipated income, average loss. All kinds of different numbers you can put here. And then last but not least, there is a complete, and I took this from a guy, his name is, it's free on the web, I didn't steal it from him, his name's McKinney Real Estate Group at gmail.com. You click the little link right here, I'm just giving him credit to where credit is due. This thing is sick. So what it has is a complete real estate game plan. Now, do you go bury yourself in here? No, not all of it is going to be for you, but he's got a business plan, he's got personal budget, he's got direct expense per transaction, he's got realtor tax deductions. What can I write off? Like, what are the things that I can write off, which is really important. He's got, here's, what's this, profit and loss. Here's a real estate product services, like some other things that Craigslist posting to. Some of this might be old. I've had this for quite a while. But so just be careful what you do there. Ask questions if you have any questions on this at all.
This is a spreadsheet, you guys, that you can absolutely edit each and every piece of this. You can make it your own, kind of develop it into, and you don't want to reinvent the wheel. So take what you do in your mind mapping, where you take down your ideas, whether it be on MindMeister or on Bubble or wherever you create or put your ideas on paper. Use those things, and then use this sheet to put that into an actual formable plan that you can follow the steps for. Right. Guys, Scotty, we're going to make this available. We'll provide this to the loan professionals, the sponsors of the program. Absolutely, so, just contact your sponsoring loan professional, and they'll be able to get you access not only to these documents, but as well as to the PowerPoint that we presented with today and the recording. I will tell you guys, girls on the call, that loan professional who invited you is a great person to partner up with finding out learning the technology things, learning a follow-up plan. Make them your accountability partner, and they can make you their accountability partner as well, so that you guys are doing things, and you know that, hey, I know that I told Scott last week I was going to do my first video because I know that's something I need to get done for this year. And boy, I know Scott is going to be calling me on Friday to see where my video is. And I don't have it done. He's going to call me out and hold my feet to the fire. And for those of you who do partner up like that, don't be afraid to hold your accountability partner's feet to the fire. It is important that you do so, and give them permission to hold your feet to the fire as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's not a 30-minute conversation. It's a 5-minute conversation. Hey, you told me you were going to do 5 things last week or this week. Did you do it? Did you do this? Okay, why not? Well, okay. And you're only cheating yourself if you don't do it. So if you don't make the time to do it, that's your own fault. But I'm telling you, if I know that I call Paul and he has me doing something by Friday, if it's not done, we're on instant message going, hey man, what happened? You were supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. I don't want to take the heat from that, because I know it's going to hurt my team, and it's going to hurt myself and hurt my family. It stems back to, I have to go home and tell my wife that I didn't get these 5 things done for Paul because why? Because I was on Facebook for 2 hours? You got to turn that stuff off. And I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but I've very little mentioned social media. That's not where this business plan comes in, really. Yes, social media is a part of it, but it's not the key factor of making or breaking your real estate business. You have to put hardcore, serious deals in place. Fear is a big one. I just don't know how to use it. I don't know how to present it. Objections, how to overcome objections. That has nothing to do with social media. Technology, a little bit of it does, but not much. Buyers and sellers, I probably should follow up with them on social media sites, but that's about the extent of it. I can do that in 10 minutes a day. Presentation, goal. So just take the time to create. I would love to see. I'd love to see you guys post this. Take a picture of it, whatever it is. If you close these down, it allows you to post. We don't have to see what's inside, just the topics that you came up with. And you can put all these together, shrink them all down, and I would love to see a picture of it. You don't have to explain it to us. Just show us what you got going and that you did something on the Facebook group. And just for reminder,
Yes, that was. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
good call, Scotty. There was somebody who had asked. I can't remember who had posted the question earlier, but there is a group on Facebook that you can join up. It's your peers. It's agents only, exchanging ideas. You know, you'll see Scott and myself and some of our coworkers on there as well, answering some of your questions.
Right.
But it's for you guys to exchange ideas. It's for you guys to talk about what's working, what's not working. Ask your questions and get answers from your peers. It's a great place to kind of mastermind with others. And you know, somebody had even said, what about reaching out and maybe getting a little mastermind group together? That's a great idea.
It's a great idea. So, all right, stop the recorder. For everybody that showed up, I'm going to give you a little surprise.
Hold on, let me stop it. Hold on.
And I love